Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Welcome to Hex Token channel. Man, oh man, we're going to have a lot of fun to today's live show. Hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Lots of cool news, lots of cool new things to talk about. And of course, we're also going to talk about PulseX. Of course, money, money, money. I think it's going to be insane. So we're going to look forward to that. Let me just check the sound, make sure it's up and running. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and get into the chat. That's the main thing for sure. So looking forward to that. Let's see how we're going. So it sounds like audio is all up and running, so very, very nice. And let's get into the chat first of all. We've got obviously Craig in the house with all the rockets and emojis. I'm loving it, looking really good. Now I try to wait till after go live after the Game Theory gang. Got an awesome lineup there. K4K, David Feder, who I'm a big fan of, and of course Matty Allen, who does awesome stuff for the community. But they're up to 2 hours now, so it's you just got to start your live stream and go for gold. So here we go, folks. Welcome into the chat. Of course, we've got Fish Tank in the house as well. We've got Brenton, woo, nice one, and Sandeep. Lots of support from India. Big shout out to Sandeep there in Calcutta. Very, very cool. We got Michael and Keith in his house as well. Morning. Man, oh man, has the Hedron prediction that I did. You may not have caught the live. I did an extra live stream yesterday when Hedron was breaking down because it was breaking down to the support area I expected. And of course, bounced off to 61.8. And man, pretty good call for the Hedron price. Pretty happy with that. Do my best to try and get as accurate as possible. So we're going to be watching that for the moment and see where it goes. But we'll talk about the Hedron price later. Don't forget, you got your claim and mint as well to do for Hedron. It's pretty much a free airdrop for Hex stakers. It's pretty awesome, eh? So free money. Who's against free money? Put up your hand. Put your hand down. Put your hand down. All right, so it's pretty good. All right, so let's get into some of the comments. We've got Michael Keefe says, will the ERC copy coins be available to trade from launch? They will there, Michael. They'll be in your wallet. All you have to do is switch over to the PulseChain when it goes live. Mainnet or testnet 2.5 or testnet 3 will also have that as well. It'll be pretty exciting. Corey Klein's in the house. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Nice one. And of course, Michael O'Keefe, if so, what do you think AMM bot will do? The ERC copied prices. It's going to harvest them, folks. It's going to harvest them. And of course, it's going to adjust the ratio to Ethereum. And it's a multiplication and a division by 10,000. So it's going to, we'll look forward to that. Woohoo! Hot old dog says, yes, sir. Woohoo! Says Superman. Nice one, whole generation. Hey, welcome, everybody. It's a great pleasure to have you all in the house, of course. And we've got lots of good stuff to get into. And of course, if you want to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. We're heading up towards 3,500 subscribers. And it's all because you guys make it possible. I do appreciate it. Subscribe, like, share, and share, and hit the bell for sure. And of course, if you want to join as a Hex Token channel member, hit the join button. We've got PulseCons, Hexicans, and Richard Hart Club. And join some of the many members supporting this channel as we promote PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex well into the future. It's going to be pretty cool. Now, I could have a show coming up with the first special guest on this channel as we're moving into the middle of the pack and content creators. Got to step up with some new forms. So we're probably having probably the first interview coming up. Once I confirm that, I'll let you guys know what that interview is. And of course, that's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be one of the projects coming on to PulseChain. And of course, we'll hear from one of the big core team members there. There's a good chance we'll book that in. So that'll be a bit of fun coming up, folks. And you know me, I'm going to ask the questions, and I'm sure they'll be pleased to give the answers. So stay tuned for that. So very cool. We've got Hexzillionaire in the house. Says Bitcoin is pumping. That's good for smart settlement. Absolutely Hexzillionaire. And as I said, we're kind of been in a half bear market, and of course with a bearish tinge to it. And it's a very good place to be. And with Bitcoin showing its resilience at the moment, it's been really doing a different thing that a lot of people would expect. 2 double tops plus resilience at the moment. No one expected that at this stage. So it is looking pretty good. Gen Hex is in the house. Hey, our latest content creator in the house. Don't forget to go subscribe to Gen Hex. Of course, a couple videos coming out in the week ahead. Going to be good. Summer Solstice. Hey, what's up, gents? Good to see you, Summer Solstice. And a PulseChain launch in the near future would definitely help market adoption for this critical point in the Hex chart structure. Absolutely excelling. It's going to be absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, let's jump over to some of the latest news, of course, and let's get into it. Here we are, hex.com. This is where it all began. And, of course, if you want to stake Hex, buy Hex, stake Hex, get an awesome return plus penalties on top. Pretty awesome. All right, so here we are. We've got we've got the PulseCon Las Vegas, next conference coming up. How many cryptocurrencies do you know that have their own conferences set up? There's not many, is there? There's not many. And look at PulseChain and Hex, of course, are going to be absolutely outstanding with the conferences. Matty Allen, many others setting up these big conferences, and they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you wonder if you're in the right community, this is the community that's growing. I always say that you want to be in the big communities, the communities that are growing. And of course, putting on conferences is a big sign of that growth. It means that there's a lot of talented people in the community and a lot with a big vision for expansion. I did say that 2022, 2023 as the year for mass adoption. We've got PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex, of course. It's going to be pretty exciting, folks. So very, very cool. The biggest crypto conference in Las Vegas. Everybody is coming. And, of course, this is going to be an open one. So there'll be a lot of other projects there too. Obviously, PulseChain needs all the projects to come over. And, of course, it's a good thing we're talking about PulseX because we've got a lot of those, different communities in the cryptos coming over. So this is really, really cool. And, of course, we've got the main page here, 2022 PulseCon, PulseCon2022.com, Las Vegas 2022. Very cool. Starts in 173 days and 21 hours. I love this countdown. The colors are spectacular. Look at us. Very captivating. This is very professionally put together. Very, very cool. What is your favorite thing about PulseCon? The venue developers projects. Very nice. You got become a speaker, become a vendor, become an exhibitor, become a sponsor. So we might see people like Hex Toys and other people at this venue. Pretty neat. Blockchain, cryptocurrency, blockchain development, technology and finance, sponsors and exhibitors, developers and security. I love it. This is, man, you think I said PulseChain's going to be big. PulseX is going to be big, man. It's going to take crypto by storm, and it's great to see PulseCon come into the market. Very, very nice. Very cool. Freedom TV info there. Very, very cool. September the 7th, 2022. You can buy tickets now. Resort Worlds, Hotel and Casino, Las Vegas. Very, very nice. And of course, you got the ticket tiers there. So silver is $555. Gold is $955. Platinum is $1755, and VIP $555. Now, where's that number? We ever heard that number before? The 5555. Anyway, it just seems familiar to me. I don't know. Let me know in the chat where that 555 is coming from, folks. I'd like to know. So silver is one ticket to the general session for 2 days, one ticket to the expo for 2 days, and then food and beverage in the expo. And then one swag bag. So if you're in the United States or you're able to get there into Las Vegas, definitely consider going to this. It's going to be huge and massive. So gold, 955, one ticket general session for 2 days, etc. What else has it got? Access to hospitality lounge and one swag bag. You've got to have the swag bag, right? That's the Rich Art thing. Got to have a swag bag. Platinum is $1755, and of course you get all that good stuff. Plus you get access to the lounge. You also get one standard guest room in the Hilton Tower for 3 nights. Yeah, so that'd be a bit of a party time in the old Hilton Tower there. And then the VIP, of course, you get a round trip limo representing. So this is a Hex Flex, if not a Pulse Flex. Is it a Pulse Flex? I guess it's a round trip limo transportation to the hotel and airport. That'd be pretty badass, right? You land at the airport and you get the limo. I like it. I like it a lot. And, of course, 3 nights in a bedroom suite there. Very not cool. VIP sitting as well. What else you got there? Access to VIP hospitality lounge with security. Man, that's pretty badass with the security. Amenity delivered to guest pool, a guest room, and dedicated concierge. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Get what you want when you want it. Get those tickets. Get those cool parties, whatever. That's pretty neat. So very, very cool setup here. Go silver, get gold, get platinum, get VIP. Love it. You got conference speakers, of course. We've got Tony T Money there. Very, very nice. A nice guy. I saw him on YouTube there. And of course, agenda. You've got day 1 is September the 6th. Registration receipt, VIP registration. Day 2 is September the 7th. Registration, Resort World Hotel Casino, conference floor, 2nd floor. Conference center, and of course general session, keynote speakers, exhibit hall. It's wonderful having a conference and an exhibition hall. This is really huge. So awesome stuff. VIP meet and greet, registration, of course, day 8, of course, day 3, September the 8th. Registration, general session, exhibit hall, and then finally a Zouk nightclub. To get all that party stuff. Good for Twitter, good for getting virality on TikTok with the old party first floor there. Nice. So pretty stuff there. We've got PulseCon official there. And of course, that's just booting up, just starting up there. So nice. become an official exhibitor. I love the site is so professional. It really has super excitement all written all over it. So nice on there. Las Vegas, and cool stuff there. Shiba Inu at PulseCon. Of course, Shiba Inu is one of the big ones we're going to talk about. Obviously, people like sending Shiba Inu into all the sacrifices, even if they're not qualified. But this is one of the big communities. We want to get them on PulseChain. They're going to get big airdrop. And, of course, you want the big communities to come over to PulseChain. It creates a lot more transactions, a lot more excitement. And, of course, that flows on to PulseX as well. So super exciting out there. So Shiba Inu, and I think that all of us that are in the PulseChain, PulseX, Hex community need to get out and spread the word as much as possible to all these different other communities that are going to come over with the biggest airdrop in crypto history. That's our opportunity for to not only is it going to be awesome by itself, but to magnify that awesomeness. And I think that's really, really cool. So I'm really loving what I see here. This is so good. PulseCon 2022, and man, oh man, the artwork's so good there. The venue. Resort World. Look at this place. Looks pretty badass with the red, bright red. I like it a lot. So nice. Watch the official trailer, of course. That looks pretty cool. And I'm not sure if it's got music to it. Let me just see if that's got music. All right, so that's pretty cool. Let's poke that in. Let's pop that in. Let's share that and add that in. And we'll go to... We'll add that in with the audio, and of course, let's play that. Let's play this. So I'm going to hide that comment and get in here. Let's play it from the start, and bam. So that's pretty cool. Very, very cool. This is looking absolutely amazing. This is top-notch standard. See that the professional quality really is cool. I hope YouTube doesn't get me on the track there, but that's pretty awesome stuff. Everybody is coming to PulseCon 2022. Man, oh man, oh man. So, hey, the price might be quiet on the price front. It's a good time to accumulate, but you see that all the things that are happening coming, and man, oh man, so good. Look at this stuff, man. This goes on. This is the first page. Very, very cool. Who are we? Let's have a look at that. Of course, organizerfreedomtv.info, so check that out for sure. And of course, speakers and agenda in the place as well, so you can check out all that stuff. So that's PulseCon.2022. I'm going to post that in the chat there. Definitely check that out for sure. Very, very cool indeed. All right, let me just remove that, and I'm going to stop the screen and add back the screen. So we'll go into there and add that in. Boom. All right, nice. So let's just come into there. Very, very cool. Let's get into here. We've got a few other things going on here. Fundamentals are there, says Roger Moses. Absolutely. And Craig Wadding says, next vid is done, boss. Just have to edit and load it up. Nice one. So Craig Wadding's going to have his first video up on a Gen Hex channel there. Definitely go subscribe. If you check the channels tab here on Hex Token, you'll find a Gen Hex channel there. Go subscribe to that, and Hex is the way. They're two, just growing content creators. Very cool. Hexillion says, say what? Awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. Francina's in the house. Hey, hello, Hexkins. Good to see you, Francina. And I love your Top Gun hat suit, man. Yeah, me too. That's why I wear it. I like it a lot. Hey, Craig Ratings got the claps on. What else we got? John Gibbons in there. Hex Tokenomics. Roger Mo says, yeah, that is a crisp hat. Absolutely. And there is the post to PulseCon. And John says, what are other reasons for people buying Hedron if you can get it for free? Is it the NFT borrowing side of things? Well, I guess two things is one is there's a couple of reasons. I did post a video on the community tab about Hedron pricing. There was a person on YouTube that gave a commentary about that. It was very, very good. So check the community tab. There's a full breakdown of the fundamentals for the price. But obviously speculation is the biggest factor. The second thing, of course, is that you can actually use Hedron to bid on NFT of liquidated stakes eventually, but that's probably not the driving price now. Just speculation at this stage is my guess. Obviously, it's got underlying utility that adds on top of Hex, like HSI stakes. sorry, and NFT trading. And of course, also, as I say, the auctions, bidding on the auctions with the Hedron, kind of the two utilities on there, but they'll take a while to play out. At the moment, it's really just speculation at this stage. Franchina's got the hearts out. Nice. Corey Klein says, I bought Hedron to make some money off it, says Corey. Nice. And it's not done too bad, has it, Corey? Not done too bad. And Craig Scott, I only had so much Hedron to claim because I'm still new to Hex, maybe 6 months. So I had bought some. It was super cheap. Then did 10X before it went back with correction. Yeah, so that was a speculation play on the Hedron. Right, so that's PulseCon 22, folks. Awesome, right? Awesome. Isn't this, aren't we so lucky to have people in the community that can do this sort of stuff? Very cool. Let's jump over to the main event, of course, which is PulseX. Money, money, money will blow your mind. All right, so PulseX, money, money, money will blow your mind. And of course, we're going to just have a review of this again. So nice. All right, here we are on PulseX.com. And of course, we're all waiting for the sacrifice, right? We're going to get see that in PulseChain 2.5, the testnet is coming up. And apparently understanding that's syncing at the moment. So hopefully we should have that out very, very soon with the PulseChain testnet 2.5 or 2B, as some like to call it. That apparently is syncing at the moment. We should get that pretty soon. That's exciting news as we move forward. Very, very cool. All right, so obviously after the PulseChain mainnet release, sacrifices will be able to access their free PLSX tokens. Very, very cool. So if you're a sacrifice PLX, you'll be able to get them then. To very, very cool. So nice stuff there. Obviously, what the big stuff here is that we're just going to scroll down from this level here. Now, the most liquid exchange on PulseChain, that's what PulseX is going to be. So PulseX is PulseChain's exchange. PulseX enables you to exchange tokens, PRC20s, okay, which is the main token on Ethereum, on PulseChain for one another. So, for example, you could swap PulseChain's native PLS for PulseX's token PLSX. It works like Uniswap on Ethereum. Bridges also let people trade currencies from other chains onto PulseX. So basically, PulseX is like kind of like a Uniswap there, like an exchange. So nice. The world's it's got a little more features. It's got yield farming and stuff like that on. So cool. All right, so PulseX, the world's largest yield farm. Every time people swap from one coin to another on PulseX, liquidity providers earn fees as a reward. Okay, so every time people swap from one coin to another on PulseX, liquidity providers earn fees as a reward. Users can bridge in their ERC20s from Ethereum and pair them with their free PRC20s, which is the biggest airdrop or the free copy onto PulseChain. And of course, that's another level, right? It's another level. So not only do you get the big airdrop with PRC20s on the PulseChain, but you also are able to put those in liquidity pools and earn more money on that. So that's why it's money, money, money. There's so many monies on this. It's crazy. So if you add up all those monies, you got your free airdrop, you got your yield farming, another money, and of course it's PulseX as well. So looking good. Bridget, so this also backs the value of the PRC20s that they got for free. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. We love it. We love it. The second PulseX incentive token will enhance PulseX success. Another token will exist to further incentivize liquidity providers beyond the fees they're already making. When they become liquidity providers, they will receive LP tokens or liquidity provider tokens, and that they can deposit into a yield farm. So you just keep winning, folks. You provide that fee. You get a fee for providing liquidity. Then you get the LP tokens. You can put that into a staking pool, and you can get fees for that in a yield farm. Nice. This is not yet been named yet. It's an admitted a decrease in inflation over time. DAO chooses their trading peers receive this incentive and at what rates. Only addresses with PLX balances get to vote in the DAO. Of course, that is controlled pretty much by the Origin account. And of course, we have PLSX tokens. So very, very cool for the staking of PLX. So very cool. PulseX Skull, of course, is a Uniswap fork with PLX liquidity provider incentivization. Its goal is to provide PulseChain users with the best possible trading experience and yield farming with a strong focus on incentivizing ERC20 holders to bridge in and back their value of PRC20s. This, folks, is the secret sauce, ultimately, that people are going to bring in their ERC20s and match them in with the PRC20s. That is huge. That is the golden secret sauce. And, of course, very, very cool. There's so many layers of fundamentals, of course, in Pulse and PulseX. It's insane. And, of course, we're going to talk more about that during this live stream. PulseX is designed to increase in value, the best asset class in history. And, of course, that's cryptocurrencies. High yields, you can provide PLS or PRC20s that you hold as liquidity to PulseX and earn yield on them. This is less risky than trading and allows you to earn predictable income in your crypto, of course. So you're just making money on money. It's really, really awesome. Cryptocurrencies have the highest yields in the world, of course. The most transparent trading system, of course. It's going to be all on chain. It's going to be super efficient, of course. You're going to see that PulseChain costs less than a penny, and of course confirmations happen about 3-second blocks. So pretty awesome stuff. PulseX utilizes this network to allow for fast and cheap swaps between Pulse and PRC20. So awesome stuff there. Finally, PulseX only becomes more rare, and this is you think there's more pump of metals that's layer on top of each other. Of course, becomes more rare. It's lower fees than most competing exchanges. The fee to users is lower than on most competing exchanges. Most tokens inflate at high rates, with PLX never inflates. Of course, all the PLX comes from the PulseX sacrifice, so it's only going to get burned and decrease over time. The supply only becomes more rare as 29% of all fees could be used to buy up and the price and burn the freshly bought PLSX. So obviously we see that with the staking as well, with some of it going in there. So it looks like it. All right, so PulseX is awesome. Trading fees, dirt cheap. And of course, PulseX will have a 0.29% fee that users pay on every swap. This is less than Sushi Swap, Trader Joe, as Quick Swap, and Uniswap. 76% of trading fees go to be distributed to liquidity providers if you're providing funds in a pool. 21%, and this is the magic stuff here, 21% could be used to buy and burn PLSX, reducing its supply over time. 0.01% of a trading value goes to an address you must have no expectations of. So that's always a bit of fun. PulseX will have the most liquidity on PulseChain. So this is the other big thing. Not only is it going to have a really good fee level, it's going to have magical buy and burn. It's going to have big airdrops going in there that can make liquidity funding and be able to make money on liquidity fund LP tokens. On top of that, of course, it's going to be the biggest liquidity in crypto. So it's going to be amazing. PulseX will have the most liquidity on PulseChain. The initial liquidity on PulseX comes from the bot called the AMM bot ratio fixer bot. And this is the most relevant thing at the moment. Of course, with PulseChain testnet 2 coming up, we want the AMM ratio fixer bot's going to be like halfway done on the version 2 pools. We're expecting it for Uniswap and Sushi Swap. And that will give us a nice, real good taster. There should be a front end for that, and we should be able to play around on the testnet with the PulseX. So we'll definitely be covering that on this channel. As you guys know, we'll be having a lot of fun in the sandpit, as it were, playing around. As soon as it launches, as I understand it, it is being synced at the moment. So we should expect to see PulseChain testnet 2.5 coming out pretty imminently. It harvests over around 99.9% of many of the coins' liquidity from Uniswap, SushiSwap, and others. Very, very cool, and creates those pairs and recreates those pairs on PulseX and adds liquidity. It has harvested along with the fresh PLS to make PLX the vastly most liquid exchange on PulseChain. This is awesome, folks. This is where crypto prints money. So this is like printing money, folks. And of course, when the bridge opens up, the US dollar stuff will be paired over. And of course, we have US dollar values as well that are independent from the PulseChain itself. So this is super exciting, folks. Really is a game changer. As users want the best deals for their trades, they tend to go where the liquidity is the largest. And as I say, the yield farmers will come over here in hundreds of thousands of yield farmers. They'll just be crazy because they will follow the big liquidity and the big incentives. And of course, because PulseChain and PulseX will have the ultimate in tokenomics as well as airdrops and stuff like that, it's a no-brainer, right? These guys are coming. And of course, it's going to be fun to watch. Of course, if you've got, if you've sacrificed for Pulse and you've sacrificed for PulseX, you are one of the Genesis holders. They're going to come over. They want your tokens. They want them bad. They want them really, really, really bad. So let's see whether you hold on to them. Let's see if you sell out for a 2x. Maybe let's see if you sell out for a 5x. We'll see. And of course, who's going to be the diamond hands and get the 1000x. The 10,000x. So we'll see who's the last person standing for the big X's. We'll see. It's time in the market, not time in the market. But there will be plenty of wallets out there that are taking the quick profit. They go, woo-hoo-hoo, look at that, did really well. Particularly some of the bigger ones. If they can make a 2x, it's a big amount on a bigger sum of money. We'll see how that goes. So we are expecting the price to rocket up. Then go through some selling off volatility as these short-term X's that want their X's. Of course, they miss out on the long game. So it's a bit of a trade-off there. We'll see how that plays out. Very, very cool. All right, so it's hard to, let's have a look here. As users want the best deals in their trades, they tend to go where the liquidity is the largest. That creates volume. As liquidity providers make profit on volume, they are likely to deposit on the exchange with the most volume. It is hard for new competitors to overcome the critical mass of so much liquidity in one place. So will people ever leave? That's the thing, right? I don't see it happening with everything that is just the best of the best. And of course with the biggest as well. So it's going to be pretty crazy stuff. It's all good to have all the liquidity in a single place. Centralized liquidity also means best deals for users because it results in lower slippage, which is very important when you're trading. Meaning the price moves against them less when they swap. Also means that fewer arbitrage bots become rich, equalizing the prices from different liquidity sources. It's more efficient. So very nice. PulseX, in summary, has the lowest fees, the most liquidity on PulseChain, and only becomes more rare. I mean, my goodness, every time I read this, it is awesome. It's like we haven't read through this for a long time, so it's just good to come back and have a good go through there. And of course, we've had more information since then. So let's jump over to the tokenomics. Here we are on Etherscan, and of course, we've got the leaderboard here in tokens, and we've got the on-chain market cap here, the circulating market cap, the 24-hour volume, which is posted in most interesting stuff here. Obviously, stable coins. We've got BNB, things like that. So doing huge turnovers. These are all going to be, these pools be harvested and taken over. Obviously, there's version 3 in this as well. But version 2 in particular is going to be showing up on PulseChain Testnet 2.5. Then we should get by the time we get to PulseChain Testnet 3, they should have, rationalized the math and programmed for the Testnet 3. So that should hopefully be all in play. They've probably found solutions for that. Anyway, so we're just backing that they have for that, and we should expect to see the version 3s as well on Testnet 3. But pretty cool. So we've got BNB and stuff like that. All should be going into the biggest yield farming on PulseX, and it's going to be awesome to see AMM bot harvest, all that sort of stuff. We should be able to play with it, as I say, on Testnet 2.5, which is apparently being synced at the moment, and that should be probably pretty close to launch, I would say. As Richard has indicated. So pretty nice there. Shiba Inu, of course, we need to get those people. We saw that already on the overview for PulseCon that Shiba was, looks like Shiba's already involved here. Shiba at PulseCon there. Looks like they're doing something there from the looks of it, or at least being attracted to go there. And of course, this is what we want. So we've got to reach out as a community, play our part, promoting our own investment, Hex, PulseChain, PulseX, of course, and get hit up these communities. If we know people in these communities, hit them up wherever we can without getting chucked out of any particular groups. Twitter, Getter, whatever social platform you're on, TikTok, just getting out there and talking about the airdrop, of course, that they're going to get on PulseChain with and of course the yield farming PulseX. So pretty cool stuff there, folks. Of course, Matic as well, second layer stuff. Why not? Why not? Very, very cool. So we've got lots of big volumes on these. Hundreds of millions of dollars, right? So all that's going to come in to PulseX, and of course that's going to be huge for the buy and burn, as 0.06% in absolute percentage points for the magical buy and burn. Awesome stuff. If you're staking, of course, you're going to get rewarded as well. It's going to take PulseX off the market too at the one-sided staking, and you get the PLSX token. So it's super pump mental, and of course all this volume's coming over. So this is pretty cool. This is on Etherscan under tokens. You can find that under tokens over here on the tokens lab on the ERC20s. Obviously, because it's a first system stake copy of Ethereum, we're also getting ERC 721s, the NFT tokens, and of course ERC 1155, which are kind of multi-purpose tokens, getting those over as well. So very cool on that. So exciting to see that coming over as well. So cool. All right, so let's jump over to OpenSea, of course. We'll talk about NFTs, 721s and stuff like that. Of course, we've also got to reach out not just to the tokens communities, the BNBs, the Shibas, and all the other stuff, uni token holders, whatever Tron holders, whatever they are. We've got to reach out to them, but also to OpenSea communities. The crypto punks, of course, these are the top ranking ones on OpenSea under Ethereum. You can see Ethereum there, and of course, we've got to reach out to these guys too. PunkSwap, Crypto Punks, Bored Ape, and Mutant Ape, all these typical NFT ones here. Reaching out, Doodles, of course. Lots of these top ones here you can see. We've got to reach out to them too as well. It's amazing how many apes are in these NFTs, but hey, we've got to reach out. Decentraland, of course. Decentraland, of course, struggling under Ethereum. Of course, it's going to thrive on PulseChain. Of course, reaching out to them and telling them about the airdrop, telling them about the super fast, super cheap chip fees. Everything's the same as Ethereum, but better. These are the communities we need to reach out to as well. So awesome stuff, folks. And of course, they've got their own trading volume there as well. This is an Ethereum here, but you get my point. So very, very cool. So we're going to reach out to the communities, ERC20s, reach out to the 721 contracts, 1155 contracts. Very, very cool. We can see here on Uniswap, of course, we've got all the leading tokens here trading. So we're going to reach out to all these communities as well. Obviously, they've got all this volume trading here. Obviously, there's a lot of stable coins at the top here, but all the Ethereum holders, of course, reaching out to them as well. And you can see $870 million of trading volume there. Remember, for every $1 billion of trading volume going through PulseX, 600,000 US dollars will go to buy and burn PulseX. This pumps your own bags, folks. So get out and spread the word. I mean, all of you in crypto, you're all in different groups and channels and projects. Get out and spread the word and the soft way you can. Obviously, don't too force it, but just talk about the airdrop. Super cheap, super fast, PulseChain. Everyone's going to be on every project, of course. First is system state copy. Get all those good things and spread the word with those. Very, very cool. And do it on a regular basis. It takes a while for people to pick it up. I would say at least 10 times, right? At least 10 times. Get out there and and do that to the same audience. It's pretty impressive. Right, so cool stuff on there. Of course, we've got SushiSwap as well. And of course, we've got massive volumes on there. Trading as well, and that's where we're going to be harvesting this as well, and bringing this stuff into the biggest yield farming, biggest liquidity pools as well. So bring awesome stuff, eh? It is so exciting when you see it. And of course, SushiSwap as well. Here's the peers on SushiSwap. We've got the volume here, of course. The volume moves around quite a lot depending on the market prices, but they've been very high. They got one day here they were at almost 3 billion. In volume. Of course, they've had a lot of volatility on this network, and of course, it's been coming down somewhat on this chain. But of course, Uniswap has been staying pretty high on the volumes for Uniswap. So 1.12 billion on Uniswap today. Like I say, that's probably 10%. So that's probably 660,000 US dollars of buy pressure on PulseX. Of course, every single token that trades on PulseX is going to serve to buy and burn PulseX. Everything serves to Richard Hart's tokens, and of course, if you've sacrificed, you're one of the special holders, the Genesis holders of those. That's why I said when the bridge opens up, people are going to want your Pulse. You're going to watch your PulseX. I know that we're in a quiet spot now, but once the PulseChain launches, folks, that's what's going to happen. Let's see who's got the diamond hands for that. And of course, we're going to see some people, after the launch, maybe 2-3 weeks after, taking profits and stuff like that. So we already had a good look at Hedron. Of course, we had a good 8 days of a run up with a 12x on Hedron, and then of course the pullback. So the pullbacks were always in the market, despite how good your fundamentals are. And of course, PulseChain and PulseX got the best of the best, but there'll still be sellers. There'll still be sellers at any particular point in time, especially after a massive run up. And so we're going to watch that play out too. But the fundamentals after the profit take, the parabolics, will be even higher. And now we know that there's a lot of millionaires, a lot of wealthy people wanting to get Pulse. And of course, there's a lot of individuals that want to get PulseX too, especially when they see the volumes go through PulseX. There'll be incentives drive behavior, right? So as soon as they see the high volumes going through PulseX, you bet your bottom dollar PulseX will do extremely well. That's why I'm more bullish towards PulseX, not because the big whales will be wanting to go for PulseChain, but actually the value dollars, if you think about it, are actually in PulseX to start off with, at least. So it's going to be interesting. We will get some of those people trading their PulseX for Pulse, ironically so, but I think you're going to see PulseX do pretty well after maybe a little bit of volatility after the ratio trading. But when the bridge opens up, I expect PulseX to do spectacularly. So it's going to be a lot of fun, folks, to see that happen. It's also going to be a lot of fun to see how much people stake as well. I suspect that will be quite high, especially with amongst people that play the long game. They're going to be wanting to increase their volumes. But yeah, so I think it's pretty cool. I think you're going to get a lot more volume in PulseX than you will as a validator in PulseChain. PulseChain's kind of a long game. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see that. So different type of people investing. But once again, that PulseX to me looks pretty attractive. As I say, it's going to be mind crazed, blow your mind, money. That's all I can see. So very, very cool on that. That is pretty much a bit of a cover of folks to get out and get into these communities. This is just SushiSwap dashboard and Uniswap data here. You guys can see all that stuff as well under the liquidity pools and stuff like that. So, just taking your own time, maybe just take up, maybe you're in one of these communities that's going to be copied over, and to start reaching out to that community, talk about PulseChain in a soft way. Hey, did you know that there's an airdrop coming on PulseChain? something like that, and just do stuff like that, then you can make a big difference to magnify the awesomeness that's already there. So I just encourage you to do that, especially during this quiet period as PulseChain's coming up. And of course, we're looking forward to PulseChain at 2.5 pretty shortly. As I say, I understand it's actually sinking at the moment, so very exciting. All right, cool. Let's get into the Hex price next. Let's get into the chat though first. See what everyone's doing at the moment. And Craig House in the house there with the emojis. Blow your mind. Yeah, PulseX will blow your mind with the money. I love it, Craig. And Hex Force in the house. Hello, Hexkins. Woo-hoo-hoo. Nice on that. Hey, let me just check the old. That's okay. That's finished. Cool. That's all right. So let me just check this. Francina says, hello, Craig Wedding. And we got mixes in the house. Hex Token PulseX. Nice. And Tin Top's in the house as well. What's up, Hexkins? What's up? I love that. And woo-hoo-hoo, says PulseX. Nice. Sandy Beach is in the house. Hello, everyone. And Hex Token. Woo! Yeah, nice. And we pretty much got a back-to-back show. I mean, we had the game theory with K4K and David Feder and Maddie Allen. And, of course, this we've just almost tagged on perfectly. Not just about there. So big shout-out. Yeah, because I remember Maddie Allen used to have Wales Only and Kareem on there a lot. So it'll be interesting to see. It looks like these guys might end up doing some shows together. So it'll be pretty interesting to see. All the best for that. The more content, and especially game theory analytics, the better, right? That's what we all think. So PulseX says, do you think it's safe to stake your PLX because of the smart contract? Yeah, I do, PulseX. I do. Tin Top's got the smiley faces, got the emojis in there too. Sandy says, awesome first video. Yeah, so if you haven't checked out Craig Wedding on Gen X, check out the channels tab. You'll see his new channel there. And we're just showing our support behind him as he's starting to build up his content. So this first week, he's got his first video out, his intro video, and a couple more videos coming. One's already been done. So look forward to that. Big shout out to Craig. Thanks. Uploading another tonight. Thanks for checking it out and all the support. So there we are, folks. Another video coming out on Gen Hex channel with Craig Wedding. Another fresh perspective on PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex, and many other things. Sandy Beach got the smiles on. What else we got? Cal says breaking Joe Biden pumps 1.5 trillion into the inflation cocktail. Yeah, nothing surprising about that, Cal. Hey, Cal, you were here last night with the Hedron price, so we'll talk about that shortly because we're going to talk about Hex and Hedron price. But that was pretty good call yesterday, wasn't it, Cal? 61.8. Dingo Wolf's in the house. Let's get it. Adnan says, how many PulseX can achieve in first 6 months? So my current thing is within 6 months, then definitely for me, it could do 200 to 300x in 6 months. I'm expecting about 50 to 70x within 2 months. That's definitely possible. So yeah, we will have a lot of volatility at the beginning though, but to shake out some hands and of course get rid of people that are just trying to do short-term profiteers. Jean Franchou Boxu is in the house. Hi, Superman. New Caledonia in the house. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hey, nice one, Jean. And the New Caledonia, beautiful place for sure. Shane's World 69's in the house. Sandy Beach, congrats on the extra 25% win today for Power City. Hey, Sandy, you keep winning all the Power City bonuses from the sounds of it. Congratulations to you, Sandy. You're very worthy of such a victory there. The Super Zapper says, hello, what's going on with TO Hex Hedron? Sacrifice project updates. Jenkins, really good TA. Yeah, so we actually did a live stream last night. Cal was on there too. And of course, the target we hit was perfectly hit by Hedron. We're going to talk about that now. And of course, Tim Top's in the house. Welcome, everybody. Daniel says, bottom on Hex to you to buy in. And of course, we're going to talk about that. Great. I still have a question for Kareem. Says mixed 2-300X from SAC. And it says Airman. Yep. And what else we got here? Thank you, Hex Token. Hey, you're welcome, Sandy. Very, very nice. All right, let's get into it. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hex price. Man, oh man, this thing is it's kind of getting to people because they're just like, okay, we hit 10 cents at the bottom. We're bouncing off. So let's pull this back into the daily and have a look at the picture before we start to try and make an assessment about where it's heading here at the moment. So, we've been down here a couple of times, right? And we keep bounding off here. And of course, these two red candles, we know what these were. These were Hex OGs trading into Hedron. And it's not blaming Hedron. It's just what's happening in the market, right? You look at the transactions, that's what they do. They sell their Hex down into Hedron. So we were actually in a breakout, and we probably would be in the 14 to 16 cent range now. But of course, when you get these sell-offs at this particular point, then it pulls us down and it changes the tempo of the price chart. But at the moment, we're still holding up here. We bottomed out today at 10.1 cents. The high today, 10.8 or 10, almost 10.9 cents. So we're kind of holding there. It is very tenuous at the moment. Of course, this is a very difficult point to actually say, are we going to hold it at the moment? Typically, when you bounce on something 3 or 4 times, you'll either fall one way or the other. And of course, the probability is down. But in saying that, we just don't know, right? So let me say, let's pretty a 40-60, 40 up, 6% down at the moment. And that's quite a change from the other day when I had a 10% down below 10 cents. So now we're probably a 60% down. The reason why I say that is because this market has hit this 3 times. And so it's becoming this indecision at this point. So for everybody's anxiety, maybe you're wanting to pick up at 10 cents. This is really a hard pace to tell where it's going to go from here. So we'll just have to, at the moment, it's just holding above 10 cents. I'm very happy with that. And of course, it's a good place. Now, will it go to do a capitulation? Will we get down to like 7 cents, which is kind of the next level? Let's check it out on the chart here as we go. Let's go put in the structure here. So here is our structure. And of course, we have, the other day we got as low as 9.3 cents on a one trade, and then it bounced back up. And you can see that long-legged doji there. If you can see that, it's a long-legged doji. And of course, then we had positive confirmation of a trend reversal, which was really cool. We're all pretty happy about that. And of course, most of us would be pretty happy if we got into 14, 16 cent range as we lead up to PulseChain launch. So pretty happy. But as we say, that's where we came back and tested again. So it's kind of like this first test was 10.3 cents. Then we really got the spike down to 9.3 cents 4 days later. And then, of course, today, 10.1 cents. So where we're up here, well, we're still in this channel moving along here. We keep bouncing off it, so it's very hard to tell at this stage. We have pretty much saying flipped. I think we're flipped, though. The indecision line is actually at 10.9 cents. So that's what's flipped the percentage for me from 10% when we were higher, now down to up to 60%. That would go down rather than go up off here. But once again, we haven't done it yet. So it's not inevitable, right? Not inevitable. And so let's see how we get on. Like I say, in the next 24 hours, we should know where this is going, right? We should know where this is going in the next 24 hours. So let's just hold on. And this is, an interesting time. Now, the next point, of course, is the next point of us going is this candle here. And that is, the bottom of this band is actually 9.5 cents. 10 cents is a psychological level, but 9.5 is kind of where we've got the support line here. And then the next line, of course, is 7.1 cents. So that's what I said. I don't really want to break down below 10 cents unless if you're a buyer, you're happy, right? If you're a buyer, you're going to get a whole ton more Hex. And of course, who are those buyers? Are they speculators or are they Hexkins that have time in hands and will hold the Hex? So let's get, who knows, right? We'll find out. But here we are at 7 cents. And then, of course, the next one below there is at 5 cents. And I don't know, we don't really want to go to 5 cents, but that's the way we go. And, of course, below that is 3 cents, right? 3.5 cents. We don't want to really go there either. So at the moment, we're holding on. It is that indecision time. No one really knows at the stage, but I would say that probability has switched 60% going down. But let's see. It's not happened yet, but we will get that confirmed, no doubt, in the next within the next 24 hours. Maybe the next few hours, maybe next 24 hours. So it really is that time at this stage. Of course, and the reason why is because it broke down below 10.8 cents there, and of course now we're getting down here. Now, of course, let's see what happens. It's going to be someone has to take us down there, right? So it's the sellers. Are there going to be more buyers than sellers? That's the key. So if you're looking at buying 10 cents, you're going to help that to actually go up. If you're looking to buy at this range, and of course, if you're looking to buy it at 7 cents, if you think it's going to break down, then you're not going to be helping the price stay above 10 cents. Kind of like that, right? That's how there's basically more buyers than sellers. So we're at quite an interesting point. Now, once it's different from making a price call when the trend is actually going down. You can say, oh, yeah, the trend's going to go down to this point or this point. Whereas at the moment, we're kind of bouncing off a floor. And of course, we don't know, are we going to keep that floor or not? So it is a difficult point to choose from here. And of course, when we're over the 10.9 cents, we had the green confirmation. You saw that my probability was very high. But I did say that it was subject to OGs selling their stakes, because that's the thing with Hex. You have a price chart, but we have staking, and that means that people can come out with Hex OG stakes and change the chart. And that's what we see time and time again in Hex. So it makes TA and Hex a lot more difficult than other projects that don't have, big staking in it. And of course, Hex is still matured. It's 2.4 years old, but it's still young as well, if you know what I mean. It's like matured to this point, but we still have a relatively lot of Hex OGs with large volumes of coins around. And of course, the not only liquid ones, but people with stakes, they can emergency in stake. They can pay the price and the penalty, which is a really cool mechanism. It goes back to stakers, 50% of it. And of course, we get inflation plus penalties. But of course, they can do it. It's up to the individual. Are they willing to pay the price at this stage? So there's pros and cons to doing that. Sometimes they lose when they do it. Sometimes they win when they do it. It's just the way it goes. So at the moment, of course, indecision is where I'm sitting at the moment. Some people asking me, should I buy now at this range? Obviously, nothing on this channel is investment advice, but we do try to help with opinions about this chart. And at the moment, you'd be a DCA strategy is probably the best one. And of course, if it does break down 10 cents with the DCA strategy, if you've still got dry powder, means that if it does go to 7 cents, you could buy some at 7 cents and get a nice DC average between 10 and 7. If it doesn't break, of course, you've managed to pick up some near the bottom. If this is the bottom down here, then you can ride it back up. So it's probably the best suggestion that I can make at this stage. Not investment advice for sure. You need to make your own investment decisions there. Very, very cool. Obviously, this is still in play. Our price of 20 cents up here. So we have not broken out of this line here, this dash line. So we have not broken out of this line. We have just slidden down it. We almost did, but we didn't. And if we had, we would have probably broken away much faster to the upside. Definitely stayed 14 to 16 cents and consolidated, but we didn't do that. So now we've still got actually more days now because we've gone down further to this lower level here. We've still got we've still got 3 days now. So we've had an extended down pattern here, 3 days to break out. So we've still got 3 days to break out. So that's kind of looking positive too. Hedron, of course, at the moment, we're going to check that out because that is kind of related now, given the fact that we have seen since the Hedron launched, people sell their Hex to buy Hedron and sell their Hedron to buy X. So it's not just one way, and we've seen that too. So we might have to translate our line here out a bit further. Still at the moment, the earliest time for PulseChain that I've got on my time frame is the 15th of April, still earliest time, but that is dependent on PulseChain, PulseChain 2.5 launching, say, within the next 36 hours. But apparently it is syncing, so we could get that out within the next 24 hours. So fingers crossed on that. Cool. All right, so let's jump over to Hedron. Bam. Actually, first before we do that, let's have a look at the DMI. And let's take off the stuff there. So we've got sellers coming down, buyers going up, and the trend is in confirmation of the sellers. So they're still in control at the moment. So definitely flipped the 60% line that does support our narrative there. And of course, here we are on the this is what we want to see. We want to see the buyers go up here, the sellers go down here, and of course the trend to stay up over 25, which is this yellow line here is 25. That is a confirmation of a trend. So on the RSI, of course, we'll jump around there. Let's have a look at the RSI. RSI has gone down. Of course, that gives us more room when we do get a trend reversal. So we're holding on for that as well. I do think that PulseChain testnet 2.5 will give us a little bit of momentum, but it's not the big thing, right? I think having PulseChain 2.5 now makes PulseChain 3 even more important. So I think PulseChain 3 will get people even more bullish. And I think that's when some of the people that are playing the big game should start to move to accumulate. They want to move to accumulate now. But some of the big whales may be waiting to see whether we break 10 cents. And of course, if they do, they'll start scooping it up at a cheaper price, and then they'll ride the price up, right? That's what the whales like to do. So we'll see. Watch out for that. We have got the Hex Investment Trust as well, going to be buying, and no doubt if they do receive early money, like early money mean within the first 2 weeks, and they have their purchasing set up, which I believe they do now, since they launched on the 12th of March, then they should be buying in the market as well. So we could see some buying candles from them. Obviously, they're going to probably use Matcha and 1 inch to do that efficiently, and it may or possibly put in some orders in there if they think that the market's going to fall into the order. They could do some orders as well with limit orders. So we'll see what strategy they do around that, limit orders or spread buys there as well. All right, so let's have a look at Hedron. Hedron has been, we've called Hedron on this channel really, really well. And of course, Cal was on there yesterday. It was nice to see Cal in the chat. Big shout out to Cal. And a few people actually were buying on the channel when we did the live stream last night. And of course, that was after our normal live show. And we just covered the Hex and Hedron price. It was just a cool way of hanging out, having a latte at the same time. So it was pretty nice. I'll probably do a lot more of those. I actually kind of enjoy it. I don't know why, but I do. And so we'll definitely look at that. So pretty much this was the smiley place. We saw the price was about here. I think it was about here, and it broke down. And this is when I went live around here, and it broke down just as we were on live stream. It actually did all this on live stream, and it broke down, and of course hit the mark here, the bottom of the mark. This was the 61.8 on the Fibonacci, and often when you have pullbacks, you typically will go back and hit either the 38 or the 68, or even you could hit the 71 as well. So 78.6. So, but because I felt that maybe we've got a lot of Hex holders, that there's not going to be a lot of selling. Maybe a lot of the speculators sold down here. We have got a lot of speculators in Hedron because of, we're ranking on crypto.com and other sites. So, Hedron wasn't just about Hexkins or PulseKins or PulseXkins. There were a lot of other communities coming, which is kind of a good thing in some ways. It brings in more attention. But of course, we bounced off here pretty strongly. We watched all this on the live stream. It was pretty fun to see. And of course, the price has pretty much gone up where I had it. So I actually had the price going up here. But once again, I've just adjusted it just slightly on this. But it's actually been pretty accurate through here. And of course, gone up there. So nice. The target was to hit 4,200 to break out. So at the moment, that breakout would be around about 4,000. So let's say 4,000 to break out. Up to there, and we could see another little parabola. I don't know if it will be as high as the one we just had with the 12x, but we could see it definitely break out up to these areas here, up to 4,800, 5,000 is probably where we could see the price break out if it does a nice little rally here. So it might get over like that. So let's actually change this around, and so if we break out up to there, let's put in another one just to show what I mean, so that you can visually see it. Now that I've got used to using these little arrows here. Or actually, I thought I had, but I just can't find it at the moment. So you got to be careful not to talk too much, because you might catch yourself out on there. I think it's this brush. The double curve. Yeah, the double curve. Bear with me on this one as we go. This is a really weird curve, but kind of cool. Look at that thing. What is it doing? Who knows? Who knows what this thing's doing? So we're going to try and pull that up over there, and we're going to pull that over there and say, let's go up to there, and hey, we're almost there, folks, almost there. So we're going to have a higher low. So could do something like this. Could do something like that. How about that? Ta-da! There we are. We've got the arrows in there. They're fudgety things, but it looks like, not too bad. So we could see something like that is what we could see. So far, so good, really. Pretty good calls on this on the way up. And let's just do a review of this, just so you can see this. I'll just have a quick review of what the logic was, and it's played out virtually perfectly. And of course, we had the big rally up here, and of course, we had this big long angle here. So this is kind of the rate at which FOMO is happening. The price is getting pushed up. And then when we got to this level here, we had a pullback right down to, so we got up to 3,200. We had a pullback down to 2,500. I remember that we launched at about 3,300 was the peak on the open day. But here, this is the hour, 15 minutes. Let me change to hourly. It's a bit easier to see on the hourly. Bam. And of course, we got up to 3,300. We came back to 2,600. And of course, then we rallied up. But we changed from this angle here, and it got much steeper. Look at this steep angle here. Let me just Control Z that, the steep angle. And of course, the price rallied up there. Man, oh man, it was so exciting to see that play out. But of course, as soon as it breaks down, you've got to change your angle. So you've got to actually say, well, this is not as bullish as it was. We actually came down and we had this little basic line here, and it broke through that too. And then we had another angle here form up, and of course, it managed to hold that. So when it was down here, I thought it was going to crash down vertically big time. But then it's just slowly started jumping up here. And of course, then we got a big 670,000 US dollar buy up here, and it pushed it up. So they're currently way out of the money with that 670 at the moment. So let's say they bought at 5. So they're probably about 30% down. So they're pretty much down from, say, 670 down to maybe 500,000 something like that at the moment, maybe 480 or something. So, you know, there are big risks in this, even for the big fish, when they actually do that. But they help push the price up, zigzagged up here along this line here, almost broke through a few times, got up to the very top of this line, then it broke down. So the good thing about having the lines is that you can see the momentum. If you see the momentum start to break down, you got to be really nervous at that stage. You either sell your bag that you had, right, especially if you had made mad gains, or you hold the course, and you got a lot of risk when you hold the course after a massive bump. So you got to take that into account. So that's what I was looking at when I was looking at this, and it just gives you a lot more information having this angle of increase, this FOMO line here. And of course, it kept breaking down. By luck, this doesn't always happen, but like the big buy came in, helped to push the momentum back up, got new all-time highs here, up here around 2,300, just under there. And of course, then we started breaking down here. We had this line here. This had been held intact, right? And then of course, that was our second major line. And then that fell down, bam. And then it hit our long-term price rally. This is where we started from. Of course, this gave us our start here of the rally. And once it broke down through that, you were knowing the chart was in trouble, because that was our last support line. It would have to have bounced off there and gone up to a new high, but it didn't. It crashed down through here. Now you know you're in a downtrend. You're in a downtrend now. And of course, then we got to the trend itself. And of course, we just zigzagged down this downtrend. And of course, this was my expected target here as well. Now, of course, this is where I think it's most probable going to land. And of course, on the Fibonacci's also help us with the retrace, and we can see that it's at 61.8, and that's was going to be pretty much between 3,000 and 3,300. We had some structure support at 3,300, and of course, we had the Fibonacci at about 3,100. So anywhere between this 300 and 3,300 is kind of the target amount. It pretty much hit that spot on. That's not always the case. Sometimes it might go a little bit lower, but it's spot on. And now we're up here at the moment and not looking too bad. 3,887. People that were on the live stream, a couple of people actually bought down this price level here. So they could potentially be up about 24%, 25% at the moment if they're still holding those Hedron. So congratulations to them watching last night. That's just since last night. So very, very cool. Now, the key is now we've got to break this downtrend here. And of course, this is pretty shallow. So it's just starting from there to there. That's hitting our resistance. And of course, we want to break through that. So if we take that out, let me just unz that one. If we take this away, why is it on the wrong one? Okay, that one. I want that one there. So, not that one. See, you guys saw I didn't touch that one. Let's go that one. And no, it's tricky. Yeah, finally. So we're not far away, right? We're not far away at all from here. So let's say 4,000 to break out. We're currently at 3,887. So we could see a breakout of this downtrend. And then, of course, we've got to work out what new trends is it going to form. So it's actually looking pretty good in my view at this stage. And, of course, another big buyer in here. And we could stay out of there. But we've got to stay out of there. This is on the hourly, of course. This is not a daily chart. So just take that into account. But on the hourly, looking pretty good at this stage as we're moving up there. So nice. All right, so let's have a look here at that's kind of a review. Hopefully that's quite helpful. Let's go to the daily and pull out of this view for the moment. And of course, we're not that long in the history of Hedron, as we say, we're not that long there. So here we are, folks, on the price. Let's pull this in a little bit so you can see that. That's kind of cool there. You can see we had the big volumes, obviously, with the higher price as well, just pulling off there. Let us do the day here. So this is the first day. The high was 3,200. So we could easily, not easily, we could do 10x on this value. So 10 times 3,000 is, 30,000. So we could do 30,000 on this, rounding it down a little bit. So that's within 2 months. We could do a 10x on this in 2 months. Given the fact that there's a lot of hexkins behind this, a lot of those people still have quite a bit of money, PulseCons, PulseXkins and stuff like that. And of course, all the speculators on places like crypto.com and stuff like that. So still pretty cool on that. Of course, the utilities itself will take a little while to play out, but like the borrowing and the HSI stakes. HSI stakes have been pretty successful. We've seen a nice jump in the amount of stakes, particularly long stakes for that. That means Hex is off the market from that point of view with the underlying Hex. All right, so that's cool. That is where we started. And of course, the all-time low here was at about 553. We did a nice little 10x up, 12x, sorry, up here, almost 12x. And of course, we've come down quite a bit too. So we're currently up at the current price We're still up 6x now. 6x we're up, but we were down when we have our retrace. We were only up 4.5x, which is still a pretty big gain, right? And you know what crypto can be like. You can make the mad gains, but the market can wipe the gains off too. But how far they're going to come down is different. And I think that one of the positive things where I thought this might be the bottom rather than 2,000 was the next one. So we had 2,400 to 2,000 was the next range if it did a really strong retrace. And typically that would happen in most markets. But because I felt that a thesis was that maybe we got a bit better diamond hands, that we would be able to hold off at that 61.8. So far, that has happened. But once again, we need to break out of this downtrend and start moving and getting a new pattern in here to get some consolidation. So it's going to be fascinating to watch, folks, for sure. And yeah, that's just a probability. We're playing probability here. We can always be wrong. So remember that. Okay, awesome stuff. That is Hedron, folks. And once again, it is a speculative play at the stage. It is price discovery, and that price discovery, could take 6 weeks to start forming, something 6 to 8 weeks to really set some parabola. So we could see another parabola, and of course that parabola will be higher, most doubt. If we come out here, we could get over the longer term another higher parabola. We've got about another 45 days to go to do that, right? So the next targets up here are much higher. Of course, if we take a 10x from the opening day, that would be up around this 30,000. A 5x would be around about 15,000, rounding down a little bit, 15,000 there. So we could see another parabola. It could get up to 15,000. 10,000 is important though too, very psychological level. And of course, we saw that happening around the 1,000 level as well. We had a bit of psychological battle around the 1,000, and of course we blitzed that and went to 7,200. Yeah, pretty awesome. We could see another little price rally. I do suspect we will get one. That's my kind of personal impression that we'll get another parabola up here as we try to move higher on this. So very, very cool. Gonna be a lot of fun, folks. We will expect to have bigger money going in, to get some more $500,000 trades, a lot more small fish coming in as well, jumping in over the top. As the whales have a frenzy or something like that. So it's going to be pretty cool. All right, so that's kind of a wrap up there, folks. So far, so good. Let's get into the crypto markets. Crypto market's positive, man. It's a half bear, but it's kind of a positive half bear, isn't it? It's a positive half bear. Does that make sense? But, it's not fully down. We're not fully up and so forth. So, BTC sitting around 49,500 in like a $2,000 trading range, and Ethereum back over to 600, pretty positive. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. It kind of sets the tone, as it were, the sea level. Bitcoin kind of sets the sea level. All the other ships are on top of it. And, of course, let's see where we are from there. I'm not sure if this has got the number I'm wanting, of course. Let me just have a look here. I'm trying to get I don't know if this is set up with the right details here. So let me just do it manually. We had our double tops. Now we're looking not too bad at the moment. This is still relatively low, right? So we are at this half bear. See what I mean by half bear position? Of course, we are expecting a pullback to about $12,000. That'll be a full bear down to 12. We're halfway there. And of course, a high, but this was at 68,000 on our high there on the 8th of November. This is quite often these points here can be quite tricky. We could see this actually trick out a lot of people and then continue down. So just got to be careful around here. But at the moment, pretty happy with this. This gives us a kind of good environment. I hope PulseChain does launch an environment that's definitely with Bitcoin over 30K. 30K and if 30K becomes a resistance, man, we're in trouble. It's going down to full bear from there. Be very surprising to get back over there. And so 30K is our real key. And of course, only if that becomes resistance. If we bounce off 30K, not so bad. But if we go under 30K, then you can see that on the chart here. That would mean the market's going down. And of course, what the angle of the market going down, we don't know, but it will be going down. All right, so cool. Let us have a look at PulseX. This is kind of everything, the biggest airdrop in crypto history, the biggest yield farm in crypto history, the fastest way to mass adoption. I cannot say that enough because it really is that all awesome stuff. And of course, spread the word, folks, out to all these projects. Everyone's going to get the ERC20s copied over to PRC20s. They're going to be able to put that in yield farming and even more money. they're going to be able to stake their PulseX and have even more money. Of course, Hex of theirs are copied over too from Ethereum. They're going to have more money. They're going to earn even APY on that. See what I mean? Money, money, money. It's not just PulseX, it's PulseChain as well. Money, money, money. It's pretty awesome. And of course, this is kind of the ultimate and gold standard DeFi and crypto. So it's going to be pretty powerful. Our own chain, of course, super cheap and super fast. Very, very exciting. We know that there's a lot of millionaires sitting on the sideline waiting to buy up a lot of Pulse and PulseX. Obviously, everyone that sacrificed, people are going to come for your coins. They're going to come for your coins. And of course, not to your homes. They don't come to your homes. They're going to come for your coins on the market there. So take care out there. Take care out there. And of course, Liquid Lines is going to help pump the bags as well on top of all the pump metals here. So very exciting. Let's get a PulseX timeline. Woohoo! PulseChain timeline. And of course, here we are. We are on the mark there. Let me just do the old ruler here. I think we're up to day 94 on PulseChain testnet 2. I think it's just about over. It will probably overlap for a day or two, but we've got PulseChain testnet 2.5. I understand it is syncing at the moment, so we could have this launching pretty shortly, maybe in the next 24 hours. So we'll definitely keep a tune on that. I will check Richard Hart's Twitter's there, trying to make sure. And if I hear anything, I'll let you guys know. But that's looking pretty close now, right? Pretty close. Testnet 2.5. We're expecting updated balances. That's cool. Everyone's going to be able to play with those. You're able to see your Pulse and your PulseX sacrifice numbers. If you have any issues with that, you can report them, of course. V2 AMM bot, of course, is going to be halfway run. Uniswap Vision 2 and Sushi Swap. It's going to be pretty awesome. We should they'll probably release the user interface so that we can play around with that, do some staking and stuff like that, swapping stuff. It should be pretty cool. And of course, there's going to be a new block height as expected. So expecting a new block height. And that means that all your other Ethereum tokens, ERC20s, you should be able to see over as PRC20s as well on there. So that should be fun. Very cool, folks. Looking good. And of course, after this, who knows how long it's going to run? I suspect 2 weeks. That's what I've got. Could be longer. This is software after all. But then we get the PulseChain testnet 3. And then, of course, we expect to have the full AMM bot. The full AMM bot with version 3 on it. Hopefully, they've got a solution put together for that with the maths and the coding. It's not just the coding, it's the maths for harvesting a V3 pool, which is more complicated, as we've talked about before. So that's coming up too. So very, very cool. Get in there, folks. Of course, this is sort of got to have patience. It's a little bit tedious, but that's just the way it goes. And then, of course, we're expecting the final snapshot block. Of course, that's going to be for the airdrop. If you've got ERC20s, 721s, 1155s, all that good stuff on your asset stack on Ethereum, that will get copied over. So very exciting. And of course, we're expecting mainnet and PulseChain to launch. The earliest date at this stage is still the 15th of April. But once again, it's software. We've got to see how these two testnets go. And of course, how Richard wants to play the timeline as well. But very, very cool. We've got all the minimum viable product. That's all being tested. The validators have been tested. Looks very, very cool. Let's jump over to PulseChain and just quickly check the validators online. There have been 33. There's 32 at the moment. Let's just double check, see how many of those are online at the moment. Test wallets. Let's see what we've got here going on here. Let's see how we're going. All right, so what do we got here? We've got 34 validators at the moment. So we only need 33. We've got 34. Yay! We've got 34 validators, so we only need 33. And of course, they should all be in rotation except for one. There's the ones not in rotation there. That means they're not there validating blocks. And of course, the rest of them are in validation there. All got yeses there. Cool. My one's doing pretty well there. And of course, pinning stake, nice. We've got 26 there. So what do I control? I've got 0.09% of the rewards. Woo, nice. They're pretty low, of course, because it's testnet, and of course, when it goes live, PulseChain will be pretty low. What was it going to do? Add stake, remove stake. So you can add or remove. Cool. Now there is some rules around this. Actually, something that's interesting. Let me just scroll down here. I'm pretty sure. So this is important. This is important to know. So if you're going to pick up something from this, staking rules, only stakers with at least 0.1% share of the stake will get paid at all. All right. That's very important to remember. So to get more volume into Pulse, with any validator, any particular validator you're with, you're going to need at least 0.1% share of the stake, and only if their earnings are at least one way based on their share of the validator's reward. So just take into account that is kind of a minimum to stake there with any particular validator. It'll be 33, as we say. So cool on that. So looking not bad there, folks. 34, very, very cool. Now, I believe that David Fedder's got one here. I'm just trying to remember if I can remember which one it is. Probably can't, but hey, it was worthy of trying. No, I can't remember which one it is. I think it might be this one here, FA14. I think this might be this David Fedder's one here. He's had a lot of misdemeanors and felonies. He better tidy up his ship if he's going to be a public ballot. I'm just teasing. I love David. He's great. But here it is. I think this is one here, FA14. Yeah, very, very cool. All right, nice on there. Let's jump back, of course, to a PulseChain there. That's the timeline. Of course, we've got now added on to here. We've got a earlier. The blue line here is the highest of stakes film documentary. I'm going to actually add the second page in of this timeline. That's the first time you guys will have seen it. The second page. So we're gonna show that probably next time. And of course, we've got PulseCon in there now as well in September. Woohoo! It's great to be in this community, man. Heart community. That's what we called about it yesterday. The heart community is awesome. And of course, Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX are just rocking the DMV. And of course, it's got XPLX as well. Very, very cool. So nice. All right, so let's get into the chat. We're going to jump on to Hedron next, and then, of course, the sacrifices, see how they're all going. And I've got to find Sandy Beach first. Where's Sandy Beach? Man, oh man, you guys have been really? No way. No, okay, there's so many comments, folks. I cannot cover them all. I'm going to have to be really selective here. Let's see. There's a lot of good comments, man. A lot of good comments. Michael O'Keefe's got a really good comment here. So talking about the Hex price here. He's got here. Rackham had a live stream on Twitter 2 days ago. His first public talk. He said he is not going to let Hex go under 10 cents. So it looked like we might get some buying support there. Now, obviously, he's not awake 24 hours a day. So just remember that. So unless he's got some limit orders in sitting in, which is no doubt how he's going to do it, that is the way he would defend the price. So that's pretty bullish. I haven't heard that myself. So that's from Michael, though. So you'd have to check that source. But that does sound about right. Michael's pretty good. Cal says, I have buy orders at 38 level. 0.77 cents, a typical and an ABC correction level. After five wave drive from Hex, all-time low. Don't care, staked anyway, says Cal. Okay, nice one, Cal. Appreciate that. So there we are. It's a couple little different strategies that people are using, folks, because obviously they're on a wave one there. And Corey says, not financial advice, but I bought Hex at about 1/3 of my dollars because gas fee was $10. And if the Hex price went up, at least I got some Hex at a low price. Nice. All right, so let me just jump through some of these. We got Sam's in the house, Hex Token channel member, looking to buy and stake again. Nice. I like it. We've got Tin Top in his house as well. Very cool. Let us jump through some of these. Just going through these. And John Gibbons says, has the Godwell been buying any Hex recently? Not that I'm aware of, John, not that I'm aware of. I haven't actually checked his account for a while. I used to check it all the time, but not so much. Franchia's got the hearts in the house. Nice. Brazology says, I bought more at 10.3 cents. Woohoo! Yeah, so if this is the bottom at 10 cents, it has hit there 3 times, then this is, you're picking it up at the bottom, and everyone likes to say I got it at the bottom, right? That's the way it goes. Brazology says, my last buy was at 16 cents. Nice. Crypto Heartbeat says, 90 folks here. Let's go. Growing strong. Way to go, says Crypto Heartbeat. It's always great to have Crypto Heartbeat in the house. Wow, wow, wow. And of course, man, you've got such a smooth voice there, Crypto Heartbeat. I love hearing you on your Friday night, late nights with friends. It's pretty cool. Sodman says, what are you doing? What are you doing, Heartbeat? It's late for you. Yeah. Well, the good thing is that, because there's, I'm from New Zealand, so we're well in the future here. It's currently 4:44 p.m. on Wednesday, the 16th of March. So we're well in the future. So wherever you are around the world, there's going to be probably some content creator that's in Hex or PulseChain or PulseX online. So it's always, even if you can't sleep at night or whatever, or you're just too addicted like me, then you're going to be able to get some good content out in there as the community is so active. So nice. Howdy you all, says Crypto Heartbeat. Nice. Let me jump through some of this. Sideman says, love Hex Token. Every time I can tune in, sitting outside church, waiting for my son to finish worship practice. Nice one, Sodman. And God bless you out there for sure, Sodman. And Charity Dunning says, I do not understand charts. Yeah, charts are crazy. Very cool. Gen X says, is the farm report on the radio, but for X community? Yeah. So we've got Hedron coming up next, folks. Stay tuned for that. Smuck says, Jesus is about to take all the Hex takers straight to heaven, like the rapture, and then will price go up. Hopefully not there, Smuck. That is actually, it's pretty insightful, actually, Smuck. Very insightful. But yeah, I'm not into the rapture theology. I'm pretty much think that there's only one big coming back period for that one. But anyway, we won't talk too much about theology. Anyway, so thank you all, says Crypto Heartbeat. But for next says, I wonder how many Hedron people will be able to mint per day when a T-share is greater than the price of a BTC. That's true too. It's going to be pretty hardcore. In fact, that's a really good topic for a video. But for next, I'm going to try and flesh that one out, actually. That's a good topic. Crypto Heartbeat, hang in there. Good sir. The hearts of the entire Hexagon Legion are with you. Nice. Hello, Sandy Beach. Nice. All right, let's jump through some of these. Benny's in the house, I think. Is it Benny? Benny in the house? I think Benny is in the house somewhere. Let's jump through some of these. Let's go. Frank is in the house there. Also, Hex Token channel member. Last time Hex dropped over 80%, it was big payday, November 2020. Then it went on to do a 25,000% at its all-time high, September 2021. 225,500 from the local low a week ago, so it takes us to $27. Just load up. Nice one, Frank. I like that. And what else we got? I think I was up to date there. Cool. Bitfinex says, in March 2020, Rackham said some baffling things about the price of Pulse. After a year, he said it after talking to devs. It's the reason I went extremely heavy into Pulse. Shout out to Rackham, Rochelle. Nice one. All right, cool. All right, so let's get into it, folks. Hedron. Now, Hedron is kind of like your biggest airdrop for Hex holders. And this could be the start of something of something awesome for the Hex community. So if you're a Hex staker, you got native stakes, what we call native stakes, basically stakes you've made through go.hex.com or through Staker app, then you will be able to claim your Hedron, your airdrop. So very, very cool. Now, to start off with Hedron, there is a 100-day launch phase. The first 10 days was 10x. The second 10 days is 9x. And then the next 10 days is 8x, etc., all the way down to 1x. That's over the first 100 days. So you basically get your bonus, lock it in first. So when you do claim your bonus, at the moment it's 9x, then that will lock in for the life of your Hex stake. So no matter how long it is, if it's out there at 20, 30 or something like that, you'll be having that 9x applied to every day of your stake. So every day you get about 1 Hedron per B share that you hold per day served. So as you serve more days, you get paid more Hedron. You can claim every day if you wanted to. Obviously, you got to take into account the gas fees. So that's kind of the cool thing there. So what we always say is, claim your 9x bonus at the moment. You've got 1 day and 20 hours to go to do that. If you've got a native Hex stakes, if you've already existing Hex stakes, you got basically 1 day and 20 hours to lock in that 9x. And after that, of course, it's going to go down to 8x. So you're losing 1x bonus. And of course, if you're after, to get a 1x bonus on price, then why not just get it on volume? And of course, you can do that now. It's pretty awesome. So this is really rewarding Hex stakers with the diamond hands. Obviously, pretty much the majority of people holding Hex stakes now have got diamond hands. They're real Hexicans. And of course, they've got those stakes in place. And of course, if they're not, they're going to lose 50% if they're early in stakes. So that's kind of keeps this cool kids in the classroom, as it were. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. So you can claim that it is a read only, of course. And all you have to do is go to the Hedron dApp, connect your wallet up, of course, add the Hedron token to your MetaMask so that you can see the tokens. And of course, your stakes will show up at the bottom here. There'll be an action button next to each stake, and that will have 2 functions. The first one is to claim. That was you claim your 9x bonus. That will lock it in for good for the life of the stake. And of course, the next one is mint. You can actually mint those tokens that you've already served. So if you've got a 1,000-day stake, you've already served 500 days, you will be able to get the Hedron for that 500-day stake. Of course, you earn Hedron every B share per day, up times 500. That's what you can get. And then, of course, you've clocked in your 9x bonus times 9 times the volume. So it's massive. This launch phase is pretty special. It's only going to last for 100 days, and it only goes down every 10 days. So it's better to lock it in early, get massive volume upside. Now, obviously, you can then claim anytime. You can then mint your tokens anytime, as long as you've served more days. Some people are thinking about doing every 30 days. They will mint some of their tokens, and then maybe they're going to, it's another form of passive income. There's lots of different strategies you can do. They might sell them and then buy Hex and stake Hex, and there's lots of stuff. Or they might think maybe Hedron's going to do what Hex did and go up 10,000x and maybe hold on to Hedron, that sort of stuff. There's lots of different strategies and speculations that people will make. But anyway, it gives you a lot of options, and ultimately it is a free airdrop to Hex stakers. That's pretty cool. So that's the main game. Of course, the second thing, of course, you can create Hex stake instances. And of course, that means it allows you to get wrapped Hex stakes. So you imagine a jar, you get your Hex, you put it in the jar, that's your wrapped Hex stakes. And of course, it opens up new functionality, including be able to have it make it an NFT, a non-fungible token, and trade that. So pretty cool with the new features. And with the new stakes that you make under Hex stake instances or HSIs, they're basically like new Hex stakes that are wrapped stakes. You will be able to borrow against them. So you could borrow your Hedron on them for the future days. So all the life of the Hedron, that the stakes, if it's 1,000 days, you could borrow against that whole 1,000 days. But there are repayment obligations. So if you fail those repayment obligations, you could lose your underlying Hex stake. You still get the Hedron, but you could lose the Hex stake. It could go to liquidation after 3 months, and that would show up here. Now, we're not expecting any liquidations here for quite a long time. And of course, once they do get up there, your HSI stake, if you fail to repay the loan, then people with Hedron could end up bidding for that. And if they win, then they're going to win that stake. And of course, their Hedron gets burned. So Hedron has got burning features to it. And of course, you can also win the Hex stake. So if you're getting free Hedron through your existing Hex stakes and someone defaults and you win that auction, you could end up getting a bonus Hex stake. So it's kind of cool like that. It adds those functionalities there as well. So very cool. I think it's overall, it's a big plus for Hex as opposed to a big sell. The other thing, of course, when people are making HSI stakes, because they can trade out of them, that's actually getting people to stake the underlying Hex for longer. 5555, more people are staking. We have seen that in the staking stats since Hedron's been launched, so it's pretty cool. In fact, I saw one chart was about 1.2 million a day, jumping after Hedron to about 5 million a day. So that was a pretty positive looking chart. So cool. All right, now that is Hedron, folks. Once again, 9x. It's only a day and 20 hours away until it goes down to 8x. So once again, if you want to watch a good video, check out David Feder. He's got a really good video, or 2 good videos on Hedron, Hedron launch, and also claiming Hedron through the Staker app. So if you've got Staker app, use the smart wallet, and there you can watch David Feder's video on that. All right, let's get into the sacrifices. Here we are. Woohoo! Here we go. All right, so we're going to snap through this. We're up to an hour and 22 minutes, so we'll try to see how we can go on this one. We're going to go to liquid loans, and of course, we're going to jump here. This is on hexpulse.info. Link is in the video description. And of course, these are projects that are going to go on top of PulseChain, and of course, they will add different types of value to the PulseChain. So we want people to use PulseChain. That pumps our bags, right? That pumps our Pulse and PulseX bags and our Hex bags indirectly. So we want projects to come on. So it's very exciting to see this. Liquid loans is one of the better ones because it's like a big lending banking facility. And of course, you never have to sell your Pulse. You can put your Pulse on there, collateralize it USDL, and buy more Pulse or PulseX or Hex or whatever else you want to do with it. It is pretty exciting. Now, there's 45.7 million there. And of course, 9,200 wallets. It's pretty exciting. The loan, of course, tokens. There's 1 trillion and 99 billion loan tokens. Very cool. And there's 5 days and 8 hours to go. Yes, it's almost over, folks. It's almost over. We count it down live on this channel. And of course, at the end of it, of course, it's going to be a website that you can check your balances. At the moment, you've got an indicator here on this site. There's a third-party site. You can check it out. We've got the Magic Cup Ride team at the top. We've got the Hex Gold Whale number 2nd. No real changes below there. And of course, to get in the top 50 now, you need $9,089 to get in the top 500. Cool. Now, there are 4 components to getting the points. There is earlier pays better. There is bigger pays better. There is longer pays better. And there is referral bonuses. So those are the 4 things. That's what's going to determine your total points. And of course, at the moment, we can see that yesterday we were at 45,889. Now we're at 45,894. So only up a little bit there. 45,894. Yeah, only up 6,000 there. So I'm not sure if that's the current day. Just going up slower now anyway, as expected. So this also on the other chains is slower. This is the longer pays better component. and we've got 17.9 million at the end of 24 months. The Hex Gold whale's in here. And then we've got about 17 million coming out immediately. Then the rest of it comes out monthly thereafter. I would say about 25% is going to come out immediately. That means they're the only ones with loan tokens that will be able to stake in the first instance, and of course earn the USDL and PLS fees as people borrow loans on top of the liquid loans protocol, and those fees go back to these people. So very, very cool. Maybe at 25% of tokens. That's kind of cool for that as well. And yeah, so remember, liquid loans is going to launch about a month after PulseChain launches. And so if we've got a month for PulseChain, it's another month out there, so another 2 months. So obviously if PulseChain takes a little bit longer, you got to add on to a month onto that. Cool. We're going to jump through all of this. The Pulse Match Couple Ride team is leading at 23.16% of the volume, and that's broken into probably thousands of wallets, and of course at least hundreds, if not thousands. And of course, this one here is the Hex Gold Whale, and that's not coming out for 2 years. Very cool. Finally, we're in the last couple of days, folks. You get earlier pays better 4,800 points or loan points per dollar. Then tomorrow will be 4,581. Final day is the 20th of March, and it'll be 3,768 loan tokens per points. That's the earlier pays better. Obviously, you get bigger pays better, which will be probably less than 1.28, and depending on how much you're sacrificing. Number 3 is the one that you can really influence. Longer pays better, you get 6% more per month, and then in the final month, month 24, you get 12%. So and that's a total of 50% more on volume if you delay for 2 years. So pretty awesome. That there is liquid loans. Let's jump over to Mintra. I'm going to quickly go through the top here of this one. We've got $10.6 million so far. 2,971 is the wallets. We've got 3,600 million tokens, mint tokens. The volumes are definitely different for this one. And we've got 1 day and 12 hours until it finishes. Yeah, this will be the first one to finish. We've got 12. Tomorrow will be the last day pretty much, or maybe the second last day of reporting on this. So pretty cool. You can check your address there. Of course, very cool. We've got the Hex Gold on this one too. So dominating both liquid loans and, of course, Mintra, the NFT platform. This has got Gerardo in it. So very, very cool. We've got another millionaire as well in there. And then, of course, if we get the top 50 wallets, you only need $1,100 to get in the top 500 for here. Very, very cool. It's definitely slowing down here. So 593, and what we got now? 559. What do we have? 593. 580. So only up about 13,000 from the day before. So cool. We'll jump through all of this. Obviously, the Hex Gold Whale's dominating 48.72%. That's gone down a little bit. And the next whale's got 10%. So very, very cool. I imagine the Hex Gold Whale will do very well out of this if the platform has a very good adoption on PulseChain, and it does even 10% of what OpenSea does, then that's going to be a cash cow. Going to be a cash cow for sure. Second to last day, earlier pays better 50 mint tokens per dollar, and then tomorrow's the last day, 48. Man, we're almost there at the end. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, so that's Mintra, folks. That's Gerardo's project with this software team. We've got Power City. We're going to quickly go through this. And Power City, we've got almost 1.5 million. Woo-hoo-hoo! All right, 1,300 wallets. Wow, this is really cool. And this has actually really had a little step up there in the amount of points. And we've got 3.5 million left. We've got 20 hours to go. There's earlier pays better, 20 hours to go before you get 2 watt tokens per dollar at the moment. And 20 hours time, it's going to drop down to 1.7 to 1. So this is the first step down to take that into account. So we should get a little bit of a rally here in the last 20 hours. That should jump up even faster. Top wallet's 50K, so very different sacrifice levels at the moment. But we probably see a big whale coming in the next 20 hours, probably is my expectation. Very, very cool. We got the total sacrificed here. What we got there? 1470. We're up to 193 yesterday. We're at 123. So definitely the last couple of days, 2 days, have been a real jump in the sacrifices there for Power City. So very, very cool to see that. All right, a lot of small wallets, of course, and the distribution's really beautiful. Look at that. So not dominated by big whales. That can be a good and bad thing, but typically with the Hex Gold whales, it's a pretty good thing, to be honest. So it's not too bad. And of course, we're in that last 20 hours before it goes down to 1.75. Of course, the other bonus you can earn, of course, is if you've sacrificed for any of the other ones, you can actually get that too. So remember, Power City's doing many products, not just NFTs. NFT is one of their NFT marketplace is one product, but they're doing bridges, they're doing metaverses, and stuff like that. So it is a bigger ecosystem potentially as well. So cool. Let's jump down here. So we've got the earlier pays better. That's the earlier pays better. And of course, we've got the recognition of price sacrifices. So if you've done PulseChain, PulseX, liquid loans, internet money, you could get up to 55% more of the US dollar value there. And of course, very, very cool. So at the moment, if you did $15,000, you'd get 30,000 points, 15 times 2. And of course, if you had sacrifice for all of these sacrifices as well, you would get a bonus on your sacrifice amount. So 15 times 55 would be 8,325. So total points would be 38,000. That's kind of how that works. Also, they have a target. If they reach a certain target, they have some real cool bonuses. In fact, after the live stream yesterday, they did their $1 million draw. 32 people won there. And it looks like, was it Sandy that won? 25% bonus. So a big shout out to Sandy. Very, very cool. The next one, of course, is 1.25 million. They've actually hit that. So they may be doing that call. They may be doing that right now as we speak. That could be something they're actually doing. Let me have a quick look here and see whether they're online. Doesn't look like they're online at the moment, but they could be online soon doing that draw for 1.25 million. So very, very cool. We're up to on that. So let me jump back here. What would they say? 1.5. Yeah, so they're almost up to the second draw, aren't they? So they're almost got these two draws to make. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play that out because it looks like they both hit both of those. So very nice. All right, so that's cool. And finally, I think we've got one last one. We've got internet money. And let us jump over to internet money. There's the final one, number 4, folks. And of course, the good thing is in a day's time, we'll only be going through 3 because, Mintra will be finished. So we've got $1.4 million. Woo-hoo-hoo! Very cool. 986 wallets. And of course, they've got tokens now. What is it? 1,476 million. 1,476 million IMD tokens, IMD, internet money. And of course, the sacrifice, the pool A was sold out in an hour and 15 minutes. That was 1.2 million. Now we've got 200,772. So now we've just entered into the third one. So we've just opened up the next 1%. Remember that the first $1.2 million was for 70.8% of the tokens. Then 10% of tokens was going to be allocated for every $100,000. So the rate's not as good, but at the moment they've opened up 3 out of that 10%. And of course, every $100,000 opens up another percent there. So very, very cool. Remaining is 99,273. So nice. Pool B is closed in 2 days and 21 hours. So they may not even open up all the remaining 10% because they've got 2 days and 21 hours. There's a 5-day rule. So they could end up finishing out. So you need to get in before 2 days and 21 hours. It will close. The sacrifice will close. So it's going to be a very short sacrifice compared to the others. And of course, the amount raised is going to be a lot more limited than the others as well, which I actually like. I like that. I think that's good. All right, cool. And of course, this one is doing it's not doing an NFT marketplace or any other products like that. It's actually going to be a wallet like MetaMask, but for PulseChain, and people are going to be able to earn the fees. If you hold the token, you're able to earn the fees. Now, before it actually launches the real token, when PulseChain launches, it's going to issue a intermediary token, which will potentially be tradable. So there could be a lot of speculation on that. So very, very cool. Top wallet sacrifice, 126,000. Then next one, 114. Looking pretty good there. And of course, if we go to top 50 there, over $300 to get in the top 500 there at the moment. And of course, it's going to be harder to get there by points because it's pool B. But nevertheless, you're still getting the prized IMD token. If this wallet is successful on PulseChain, then they will, this could be crazy good for earnings. Because obviously, even if they get, let's say MetaMask does $100,000 a day, they've, sometimes they do even more, 200,000. Depends on the bull market. But let's say they do 100,000 and you get 10% on internet money on PulseChain becoming a dominant wallet, then you get 10%. That's let's say $10,000. That could be, pretty decent money as well, and over time as the years rank up. So it should be pretty good returns. All right, so let's jump through some of this. Obviously, lots of smaller wallets, a couple of big ones there, a medium size, no huge ones like the Hex Well, and of course the allocation is pretty good too. A little bit bigger whales at the top, but other than that, looks pretty similar to Power City as well. So nice on there. All right, so that's internet money, folks. Very, very cool. And finally, we've done PulseChain. We've had a look at that. That is the last topic. An hour and 33 minutes. Woo-hoo-hoo, we did it. You guys did it. I did it. And of course, great to have that happen. We get through these topics. Awesome stuff. I love this stuff, as you guys know. J-Pon's in the house. Hey, good to see Hex Token channel member. Yeah, boy. Woo! Nice one. And J-Pon's in the house for sure. Charity's got the lol in the house too. And what else? John Gibbon says, anyone heard the rumors of Joe Lubin owning Hex? No, I haven't heard of that at all. Charity says, I haven't either. Corey says, from Richard Hart, PulseChain testnet 2. Version 2B in a couple of days with PulseX working, Amen bot running on version 2 and Sushi stack balances. Yeah. Woohoo! We're getting closer, says Corey. We are. And woohoo, another bonus time for Power City. Yay. Hey, well done, Sandy Beach, man. You're crazily good at winning these things. You must have a special thing. It must be like an angelic thing. And, of course, you're winning these bonuses all the time. It's awesome. AK says, check RH tweet V2 in 2 days. Okay, let's jump to it. I was actually going to do that, so thanks for reminding me on that for sure. Let us jump around. PulseChain, woohoo! Yeah, PulseChain.com, testnet V2B in a couple of days with PulseX working. Yes. So we'll be able to play around with that, hopefully. Amen bot run on V2, Uni, and Sushi, and SAC balances. This is so good, folks. Congratulations. Man, is this going to hold us above 10 cents? With Rackham and this good news, will it hold us above 10 cents? And, of course, will this be the bottom? And very, very cool. Nice. Let's have a look, see if the Hex prices reacted at all to that. That's great news. What great news to finish up towards the end of the live stream. Very, very cool. Let's full screen that. Get rid of all the muck. And, of course, nice. So, yeah, so far, what's the low there? 10.1. So, at the moment, we're up at 10.3. Very, very cool. Hedron is at 3,855. So nice on that. And, of course, that is the tweet of the day. Congratulations, Richard Hart. You've won the tweet of the day. Woohoo! Oh, nice. That's so good. What a perfect place to finish. Hey, big shout out to AK for posting that. Nice one. Hey, fam, pound that like button. Absolutely. Smash the subscribe button. Hit the likes. Share. It sounds like Chinese when I'm saying share. Chinese. Francesca says, in my city, we have BTC machine at gas station, at pharmacy. Bitfinesse says, good evening, Miss Sandy Beach. What a time to be a holder of crypto. Absolutely. Hex at 10.26. Sandy Beach got thank you. Woohoo! And Sandy Beach Hex token tomorrow will be the drawing. Nice. Okay. Yeah, they just had one yesterday. It was quite a big one, so I guess they take a bit of time off that. Let's go into that. I have a feeling they would draw them all ahead of time. Me too. Power City will, yeah. And, Michael says, bought some more Hex, go Rackham. Nice one, Michael. You're back in the Wales, man. You're back in the Wales. And Bitfinex says, thank you, Sandy Beach. We're literally in the land of opportunity. In March 2020, I rolled my eyes at the idea of new blockchain being created. I'm not rolling my eyes now, that's for sure, says Bitfinex. Bitfinesse. Sorry, not Bitfinesse. I got it from Telegram, says Corey. Nice one. And thanks, Hex Token. Hey, Sandy Beach, you're welcome. And V2B, great news. Yeah, it is great news. And it could be just, hopefully it will be enough to hold us above the 10 cent mark as well. And then, of course, people can accumulate. Once again, spread the news around about that tweet. That's pretty good. So retweet that out. Let's see if we've got a couple comments there. Give it to me, baby. Bullish AF. We got shit in there. So some good comments. Let's go. Of course. Nice. This is a pretty funny movie. My man pulls through. Yeah, absolutely, says Sir Carl. We got fire there. Congratulations, one step closer. We got the Pyre RG3 in the house with that as well. Nice. And what else we got there? Godfather, watch out. The first tweet was so funny, though. I know. I liked No More Tears. The pick that went with the tweet. What else we got there? Yeah. Love it. So pretty cool, folks. People loving that for sure. And let's just jump back. Actually, might have some other tweets. Let's have a look. So triggered. He's got some other tweets in there. Can't read them all at the moment. Probably a good place to finish, though. Very nice. No more tears. All right, that's good enough there. What's this? I'm here. Today triggered my 2018 Bitcoin price action memories. Dead cat into the trapdoor. Nice. All right, that's a good place to finish, folks. Captain Jack Sparrow, love him as absolutely. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. And, of course, if you leave a comment after the video, I will respond to the comments as usual. The other thing, of course, is have a great time. Have a great time. Enjoy yourself out there. Life's to be lived. So, tap off the hat to you and have a lot of fun. Let us get into it and let us go. I'm going to put out some thank you. Thanks for watching. Damn. All right. Thanks for watching. Post that. Bam. All right. So a couple of comments here. We got all the emojis. I love it. Simple Believer, big Hex Token member. Hodl Generation. Thanks, man. You're welcome. And of course, Jen Hex is in the house. Hex Token. Thank you for all your support. I'm serious. I appreciate it. I know you don't have to mention my vids, etc. Second vid is up. Let me know how it is. I feel like shilling my stuff. Yeah, lol. Hey, that's all good, Jen Hex. That's Craig Welling, folks. Check it out. And of course, let's go to the YouTube channel. Just finally, let's go do that. And of course, let us go and check that out. Let's go check out the channel there. Channels. So this is Jen Hex, folks. Go and subscribe to Jen Hex there. Just check out the channels tab on Hex Token, and of course subscribe there. Go, yeah, just enjoy that for sure. Also, Hex is the Way is doing great stuff in this South Korean community. Go subscribe to Hex is the Way. Let's get Hex to the Way up to 1,000 at 753 at the moment. So definitely go and do that. And Jen Hex there. Let's get Jen Hex up to 100. Obviously, yesterday he was at 32, and of course he's got a second video out there at the moment. So we'll just click on that. You can see the second video is out. Warning on PulseChain. Watch out for the scams. And that's Craig waiting there, right there in the chat there. So definitely get in and have a look. So nice stuff there from Craig. Craig's in the chat there. So definitely go and subscribe, like, and share. And get that fresh perspective and others' perspective. It's always good to have lots of perspectives on Pulse Hex and PulseX. So very, very nice. All right. So I think that was it. Oh, yeah. The final thing, of course, the community channels. Let's check that out. I was just about to finish, but they got this, of course. Richard Hart is now on OpenSea, YouTube. Okay, so everything that's on YouTube gets automatically uploaded to Odyssey, but of course they can't take Odyssey down, and Odyssey will always be up. So Richard Hart's videos will all be up, and of course, there's a free speech platform on the blockchain. So very, very cool. Definitely check that out. And of course, Hex Token's on there as well. Been on there for a while now, so do go and subscribe to both of us on there as well. So very, very cool. All right, Craig, you should also get yourself on Odyssey and get that back up as well on a freedom. We all want freedom as well. Cool, nice. All right, so that was a bit of a shout out there. Sandy Beach got the emojis. Pulse is in there as well. Now I'm trying to see that, so nice. And thanks, Superman says it's now you're white. Morris Williams says, hi guys, we're almost there, absolutely. And there is only 4 likes. Come on, people. Yeah. Feel, not Phil. Sandy's got the emojis in there as well. And YouTube adds another 10 pounds. Lol, says Gen X. Yeah, it does. Morris says, I'm getting a tattoo. Matt from Bali, Ewan. Superman, you're awesome. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hey, Morris, nice one. Appreciate it. Andrew said, you saw Richard's latest tweet. Yeah, we did, Andrew. We just talked about that. So Richard's latest tweet is that one. A good place to finish. And Sinful says, Gen X says, good idea. I'll check out Odyssey. Absolutely. And Sinful says, wee. Nice. And Angus Spruce is Hex Token channel member 2. Do you think the lack of demand for Hex is people waiting to buy Pulse? What will the value of prop for Hex going to be forward? It's going to be the whole ecosystem, the whole, not just the Richard Hart ecosystem, but the PulseChain ecosystem is going to be massive for Hex there, Angus. And of course, we've got the Hex Investment Trust. We've got lots of other big whales coming in and mass virality. So there's 4 big ones there for you, Angus. Craig Wayne says, I feel for you and your doggy. My Scooby mini doxy will be 15th this June. He has some health issues. Wow, 15 years old. It's pretty good, Sandy. So we're almost at 3,500 subs. Nice. Yeah, we are. And of course, we've got lots of good stuff. Let's actually see. I was going to finish the stream, but we're just going on for a little bit longer. Bear with me, folks. And let's see where we're up to on the subscribers. We are heading towards 3,500. And of course, let's see where we are. 3,439. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do appreciate it. 3,439. We're only 61 away from 3,500. It's a pretty cool milestone. And of course, we're at the bottom, still of the middle of the pack. Still at the bottom of the middle of the pack, but we're climbing. We're fighters. We're fighters. So we're going to get up there and do that for sure. Andrew's got the good vibes. Smash the likes, absolutely. And Angus says, do you think the lack of support for Hexes people? I think we talked about that one. Maybe people are waiting in order to avoid gas fees. And we've got more emojis from Sandy. I love it, Sandy. Very, very cool. Gen X as well. All I can do at this point is give him love and take care of him until any more dogs should live longer instead of turtles. Lol. Cheers, Superman. Hey, nice one. All right, so 1 hour and 44 minutes. That's even better. All right, bye for now. Take care. See you in the next one. Peace.